My brothers and sisters, we're no longer waiting for the mark of the beast to come. It's already here. And the deception is so subtle, so well crafted, that many sitting in church pews, reading devotionals, even preaching from pulpits, don't even see it. The enemy has mastered camouflage. He doesn't walk into your home wearing horns and breathing fire. He walks in through your screens, your systems, your silence. Let me say it plain. The system of the beast is not coming. It's been operational. We're not waiting for the antichrist to rise. He's already casting his shadow. You've been warned for years to watch for a chip, a barcode, a scanner, a digital tattoo. People have obsessed over whether it will be placed in the hand or the forehead, whether it's a physical mark or a technological device. But I came to tell you today, with trembling urgency, that the enemy has been working behind the scenes, not in the laboratories of science, but in the laboratory of your loyalty. Because the mark of the beast isn't simply something you get, it's something you become aligned with. It's a system that claims your allegiance long before it ever touches your skin. See, Satan isn't sloppy, he's strategic. He knows the best way to win over humanity isn't by brute force, it's by deception. And what's more deceptive than convincing you the danger is still years away, while you've already submitted your allegiance to the beast through your daily compromises. What's more terrifying than a believer thinking they're safe because they haven't received a physical mark, when every day they're choosing to bow to a system that rejects truth, redefines morality, and silences holiness? When the Bible talks about the mark of the beast in Revelation 13, it doesn't just talk about a symbol, it talks about worship. It speaks of a world order where people give honor, attention, and authority to the beast. And we've missed it because the real mark is not merely something printed, it's something planted in the mind, the heart, and the soul. The real mark is who you obey when it counts. Who do you bow to when the pressure rises? Who do you serve when serving God costs you influence, relationships, comfort, or livelihood? Let's tell the truth. We are already seeing people mock themselves by their loyalty to systems that openly oppose God. You see, the beast doesn't need to sit on a political throne. He only needs to sit in the throne of your mind. He doesn't have to pass a law to control you. He only has to influence your desires. You think you're waiting for a mark? The truth is, you're revealing it every time you choose silence over righteousness, comfort over conviction, and fear over faith. The beast is not coming to take something from you. He's coming to trade your allegiance for his approval. And many will hand it over willingly because they're not spiritually awake. They'll say, it's just business. It's just culture. It's just the way things are now. But God sees it differently, because when you adjust your faith to fit the world, instead of adjusting your life to fit the word, you've already started receiving the mark, not in your hand, but in your choices, in your actions, in your silence. The terrifying reality is that the beast system thrives where compromise is normalized, and that's where we are today. Christianity is being watered down. Truth is being tailored. Churches are becoming entertainment centers instead of embassies of heaven. And people are being trained, not in righteousness, but in passive, quiet, cultural acceptance of sin. And in doing so, they're preparing themselves to say yes to whatever the beast offers later, because you don't suddenly become bold when the heat rises. If you can't stand now, you won't stand then. The mark is not just about technology. It's about trust. It's about who you trust to provide for you, who you trust to protect you, who you trust to define what's right and wrong. If your trust is in the government, in social systems, in financial institutions, or even in your own reasoning, then slowly, quietly, without a ceremony or announcement, you've already started aligning yourself with the beast. But God is raising a remnant, a people who will not bow, a people who will recognize the counterfeit, even when it's dressed in religious language. A people who don't just call on Jesus when it's convenient, but live for him when it's costly. And for that kind of believer, the mark of the beast will never stick because they're already sealed by the Spirit of the living God. So I ask you today, what owns your allegiance? Before you worry about a microchip, worry about your obedience. Before you fear a tattoo, fear the slow erosion of your convictions. The mark doesn't begin on the surface, it begins in the soul. We keep waiting for the beast to show up like some monster out of a horror movie, glowing eyes, horns, fire from the mouth, something obvious and terrifying. We expect the antichrist to crash onto the world stage like a tyrant from a dystopian film. But while you're looking for a dragon, he's already operating through systems that have been quietly replacing God's truth with cultural lies. The greatest deception of the end times is not that evil will show up, but that evil will be disguised as good, and people will applaud it. The beast isn't something distant. The beast is already seated in places of power, not because he took authority, but because the world gave it to him. Step by step, through compromise and convenience, the systems that shape the way we think, buy, sell, educate, and live have been infiltrated with beast logic that says God is irrelevant, sin is progress, and truth is subjective. And many believers are caught in the fog of this beast system, not even realizing they are functioning inside of it daily. You want to see the beast? Look at any system that promotes confusion over truth, promotes lawlessness as liberation, and calls conviction. The beast is in the entertainment industry, normalizing rebellion and repackaging sin in high definition. He's in educational institutions, rewriting history and gender with no accountability to God's design. He's in economic systems that reward greed and punish integrity. He's in politics where darkness is called policy, and those who speak truth are mocked as outdated or extreme. And yes, he's even in some pulpits where sermons are sanitized, holiness is optional, and the word of God is no longer the final authority. This beast is not waiting to be introduced. He is already operating through ideologies, through laws, through influence. You won't always see a devil with a pitchfork, but you will see a movement that slowly erodes your sensitivity to sin. He governs through desensitization. What once made the church weep now makes it laugh. What once drove people to the altar now entertains them. This is not accidental. This is intentional deception. It is no longer necessary for the devil to persecute the church violently. All he has to do is persuade the church to blend in, to go along, to say nothing, to love everything, and judge nothing. That's how the beast rules. He doesn't need to wage war against you. He just needs to get you to agree with him. And here's the chilling truth. The beast system isn't just governing the world, it's governing minds. The battlefield is no longer just in policies and platforms. It's in your thought life. If the devil can get you to think like the world, he doesn't need to fight you. You'll fight yourself. You'll self-censor your truth. You'll second-guess your convictions. You'll call compromise wisdom and disobedience grace. That's not just worldliness. That's a beast mindset. And the reason it's working is because we've become addicted to comfort. The beast offers comfort in exchange for your conformity. He promises peace if you keep your faith private. He'll let you be religious as long as you're not righteous. He doesn't mind churches. He minds bold ones, the ones that draw lines, the ones that say this far and no further, the ones that still preach repentance and the blood of the Lamb. Don't you see it? We are not preparing to fight the beast. We're already in it, but it's not too late. The word says we overcome him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. That means the only way to survive a world governed by the beast is to live like you're governed by heaven. You can't be lukewarm anymore. You can't be halfway holy. You can't say, I'm a believer on Sunday and bow to culture on Monday. You must choose. You must stand. You must declare with your life that Jesus is Lord, even when the beast roars louder. Because while the beast is governing the world, the king is returning to reign. And only those who refuse to bow to the beast system will reign with him. So the real question is not whether the beast is coming. The question is, who's ruling your life right now? Who has your mind? Who has your loyalty? Who has your attention? Because while the world is looking forward, prophecy is being fulfilled right under our noses. Wake up. The beast isn't set coming. He sets governing. Nobody wakes up and accidentally takes the mark of the beast. It's not a mistake you make with your eyes closed. It's not a slip of the hand or a misstep in your daily walk. No, the mark of the beast is accepted willingly, not through force, but through fear. Not because people are dragged into it screaming, but because they are seduced into it silently. And I came to tell you, the spirit of that seduction is already at work. You see, the mark isn't just about technology. It's not just about global ID systems or digital currencies. It's about a trade. It's about what you're willing to exchange your faith for. And for many, the price won't be large. It won't be dramatic. It'll be subtle, comfortable, logical, sensible. The beast won't offer you chains. He'll offer you convenience. He'll offer you safety, provision, and social acceptance. If you'll just stop being so loud about Jesus, if you'll just soften your stance on truth, if you'll just blend in. We've been warned in Revelation that those who take the mark will be able to buy and sell. That means this is going to touch your survival. It's going to touch your income, your job, your transactions, your access. And when that pressure comes, many will say, God will understand. I have a family to feed. I have bills to pay. I have to live. But that logic, however human, is spiritually deadly because survival is not the goal of a believer. Obedience is. Let's get honest. People are already making decisions that look like the mark. They're already compromising to keep their seats at the table. They're changing their message to avoid losing followers, sponsors, friends, or influence. And if we can't say no to the world when the pressure is low, how will we stand when the pressure is high? If you can't carry a cross now, you won't resist the crown offered by the beast later. The mark isn't about a forced decision. It's about a heart posture. When your heart is conditioned to choose ease over endurance, comfort over conviction, silence over sacrifice, then you're already on the path. The mark becomes easy to take when you've spent your whole life living unmarked by Christ. When there's no fire in your worship, no truth in your witness, and no holiness in your lifestyle, the decision becomes a formality. You already made it. Let's be even clearer. The Antichrist will not need to chase you. He'll only need to present a solution to your fear. He'll offer peace during chaos. He'll offer access during restriction. He'll offer prosperity in an unstable world. And because so many have not trained themselves in spiritual discernment, they'll call it a blessing. They'll say it's God's provision. They'll justify it as wisdom. But God doesn't offer provision that requires betrayal. He doesn't give peace that demands compromise. The most dangerous lie of the last days will not come from the beast. It will come from those who try to make the beast look acceptable. They will package the mark as a solution. They will cloak it in empathy. They will call it progress. And many in the church will agree, not because they don't love God, but because they never learned to suffer for him. We are entering a time where true allegiance to Christ will be tested. You will be labeled, misunderstood, possibly rejected. But that's how you know you're marked by heaven. Because if the world is fully comfortable with you, heaven probably isn't. And the moment your faith costs you nothing, it's probably worth nothing. There's a remnant rising that won't bow. They won't take the mark, not because they're strong, but because they're sealed. They are so rooted in the Word, so full of the Spirit, and so consumed with the presence of God that the things of the world have no hold on them. These are the ones who say, I'd rather starve than bow. I'd rather lose everything than lose my soul. I'd rather be hated for the truth than embraced by deception. And to that remnant, I say this: don't